necessary. I understand that you wish to garnish them, but truly I am a simple lad, and my wages need not be garnished.
Collection charges to either court or...
The laws to purchase or sell real estate.
They're gonna garnish your wages. Yeah, when you think you're gonna get paid every 2 weeks, expect almost either nothing or less than half of your paycheck.
Joe Biden is gone, so is student loan forgiveness. People are scared. The government has started to garnish wages on student loan debts. We're about to check out some people going through this.
No, thank you. I don't need an edible flower next to my wages. Thank you very much, government. I appreciate the sentiment, but I do like them plain, simple, and to the point. As they came out of my employer's bank into my bank, no extra fluff necessary. I understand that you wish to garnish them, but truly I am a simple lad, and my wages need not be garnished by nothing, really. I'll take them just as that. No salt, no pepper, no nada. You just take them from that place over there into my place over here.
Sovereign citizen logic right there. Just tell the government not to garnish them, and then they won't garnish them. That's all you have to do. Just tell them, I'm not going to take this. I don't want it. And I'm joking around, but in all reality, you could do this if, people actually banded together to get anything done.
And 61 days past due, then they're sent to the default resolution group, which is it's similar to a bill going to collections. Once your loans are with the default resolution group, then that's when it's possible for your loan for wage garnishments, tax refund garnishments, whether they're federal or state. You may lose getting new FAFSA, the loss of a professional license, the loss to purchase or sell real estate, collection charges to either court or...
The laws to purchase or sell real estate? I knew it was serious, not that serious. That's worse than a dishonorable discharge. Schools may withhold transcripts? Loss of professional licenses? They are going to ruin your life and take everything that could possibly make you come up if you don't give them back this money.
Attorney charge fees, negative credit reporting. Your school may withhold official transcripts, and you may no longer also be ineligible to receive deferments or forbearances. First step you want to do is go to studentaid.gov if you don't know if you have multiple lenders or who your lender is. Once on studentaid.gov, you don't know your logins, let's just first do forgot username, then forgot password. If you still can't log in, then you need a call. I'm putting the number here. That will allow you to be able to log in and
if y'all need it.
Be able to see if the first thing is to see if you're past due. If you're not past due, this does not pertain in regards to defaulting. It's only, like I mentioned, 270 days past due or if you do know who your lenders are, it could be anywhere from Okila, Nelnet, 8 Advantage, Ed Financial, Central Research. You can log into your website logins to see if you are indeed past due to confirm.
And she's essentially saying you can log into these sites, you can check to see if you're in default. If you are in default, there's a chance your wages is about to get garnished. And all those threats that she gave are the results and the things that come as a result of getting your wages garnished, or could be the results. No fear mongering here, just spreading public awareness.
Positions today, embezzling money, mishandling funds, creating fucking charities, I guess you can call them bitches, because it's not really a charity if you're using it to launder money through it. You get what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, we have this foundation. Oh, yeah, we have this charity. And somehow money that's supposed to go back to the state somehow ends up in these foundations, and then they push it on to something else. Oh, yeah, this was for cancer. We need funds for cancer. And yet the funds didn't go to cancer. The funds went to a political party that the so-called person in charge of the organization was trying to be a part of. Y'all need to focus on getting that money back, because they right there in y'all face playing.
I had my way.
She's a little mad because these politicians out here playing around with their money. She's essentially saying that people were putting money into the pockets of, or she's essentially saying that the money that was supposed to be going towards cancer research and other things ended up becoming money going into political parties, which is pretty true too, since a lot of cancer research and lots of research in general around the states has been canceled, despite money being put into those things for money to go towards that. Instead, that money is being sent nowhere, or it's not being given back to the people, or it's not being used to help us. Even if they did come up with a cure for cancer, you know how much they're going to charge for it? Well, they have one, but I'll talk about that story later.
They were going to take out. I went out. I got a second job. I survived. I honestly don't even remember how long it lasted. They actually took too much and had to pay me back. And I was getting my wages garnished when I was only making $25,000 a year. So a bitch was broke. I still got PTSD from that shit. But I made it. So come up with a plan, budget, go back to school, do whatever it is you need to do to make sure that you...
They will garnish you no matter what. It doesn't matter how much you got coming in. They will garnish those wages and take as much of it as they possibly can.
Are okay if they start garnishing your wages. Saw someone say too that they can't garnish your hustle. So do some side shit where you get paid in cash. Hopefully that'll make up for the lack of income.
I made a video on fine dining, how this dude's making about $10K a month through that. might be the move, because that's not always getting taxed, if you get what I'm saying. That's not immediately getting taxed at all times.
Corner somewhere with a sign. Not what you was thinking. Your mind was going to the wrong place. But yeah, it's getting rough out here in these streets. It really is.
They're about to start garnishing wages for these unpaid student loans, girl. I knew we was unified and not paying them. But girl, we got to stay unified with what we got coming up. So here's what I would recommend.
I'm misgendering.
If you can file for a deferment, because I knew they stopped doing the income-based repayment plans. They stopped doing that a minute ago. But if you can still do the deferment, I would highly recommend applying for that, because I just got approved for the deferment. If you want to know if you can get approved for the deferment, if you receive any type of public assistance, I'm talking like Medicaid, if you could get $5 worth of food stamps. Okay, if you could get $5 worth of food stamps, send them that approval letter and you will be deferred. My stuff just got deferred until October. Okay, girl, that's what we're gonna have to do. And then by that time, I'm gonna be back in school.
That's crazy. Okay. So if you're getting any government aid, it allows you to defer your student loans further because it looks like you're in a state of poverty. Not completely ethical, but I mean, dealing with the U.S. government.
Okay, not paying all together, right? But I was on the repayment plan, then they stopped the repayment plans, and I just been watching my credit. Back in March, my credit took like a hit of like 200 points because I ain't never paid them people. And I was like, oh, this is bad. And I was about to get it taken off my credit, but I know that that was the longest item on my credit was them student loans. So I was like, let me go see if I could get a deferment or whatever options they have. So, and I applied like 2 weeks ago, and it just went through like yesterday. Girl. But yeah, because I knew something was coming. Because like all that time I hadn't paid, and it just wasn't showing up on my credit report.
I'm distracted. How does a single human have so much sass? That was the loudest smack or snap I have ever heard. It reverberated throughout his house. It almost shook the walls. It almost took the walls down. But yeah, credit dropping is no joke, and it happened so incredibly quick. A few missed payments. I tried to do it, yo. So I tried to do it. I failed. A few missed payments, and it's a wrap. Your credit significantly drops. That being said, though, once those are removed and gone, it's a pretty quick process to get it back up.
Come to me. It went straight to the state. So if you think Trump is playing, he's not. Okay, come May 5th, y'all be prepared because he will garnish your wages. And yeah, I don't even have that much money, an outstanding balance. I have like $1,400 outstanding right now, and I'm gonna have to take more out to finish my graduate program. But Daddy Trump ain't playing, so y'all be prepared.
So they're saying they're gonna start garnishing wages for student loans.
She's bad. Side note.
But was adulthood this scary for our parents, or is this like a unbelievably scary time, or like adulthood been this?
You guys voted for him.
Short answer, yes. Long answer, no. In terms of whether or not adulthood was this scary for our parents. It's just a different time, you know. It is a different age.
But here we are. Donald Trump, as of May 5th, with the Department of Education, is going to start involuntarily taking their debt from people that people owe them for student loans. If you have a student loan and you haven't paid since 2020 because you've been protected, or your account's been defaulted because you haven't made a payment in the last year or so, 300 something days, they're going to start cutting after your wages. They're going to garnish your wages. Yeah, when you think you're going to get paid every 2 weeks, expect almost either nothing or less than half of your paycheck, just saying, depending how much you owe. Obviously, I wouldn't know, but you should. They're going to go after your tax refunds. I don't know about anyone else, but I love me a good tax refund. So is anyone else not upset they're taking your tax refund?
It's a wrap. I mean, they're coming for it all. Anything you got, anything you're getting, you know. Oh, we heard, hey, is this, what's her name, Natasha video diary? Yeah, we heard that you just found a couple pennies on the ground. We're gonna need that. We heard you just got a raise. Congratulations, first of all. Congratulations. You just got an extra $1 an hour. Congrats. Anyway, we're gonna need about $1.10 out of that dollar. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's just the way it is.
Here I am, just like everyone else. What can I make 1-minute videos on to tell you guys about? I was a hippie for a long time, hula hooped for a while. I hitchhiked with my hula hoops and my dog. I lived in Montana, managed some restaurants.
Talking about debt here. We're talking about
Mom
loans.
now, a licensed foster parent of my triplet nieces. I'm a teacher. I'm a preschool teacher. I love my kids. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? What can I make some 1-minute videos on and maybe not work my life away?
I guess the idea was that, like, even heroes of the community are struggling. That's been the case forever for teachers, as unfortunate as it is, since there's no prioritization on that at all in our country. But I guess the general idea is that despite being a pillar of her community, I mean, she's educating the next group of people who will be working in her city, even if they move out, working in some state, literally the foundation of America. And she's even struggling. She's got to make TikTok videos.
Social Security is actually kind of ruthless. Most people on Social Security are older people, and a lot of those people are on a fixed income, and they are old. So where will they get the money to actually pay for their student loans? How are they going to survive this cost of living crisis if they are on fixed income? And now you are garnishing their Social Security.
They better get back to work.
So the Trump administration is talking.
I mean, they're out here shaking down grandmas for money. Not even grandma's safe. That little money she had in her cookie jar, they're coming for it. Anything they can get. You better start cutting grass. She better become the local candy lady. Because if not, that Social Security's gone. Matter of fact, on a more serious note, I remember I did Medicare sales for a moment. And I remember talking to this lady, and I was just there, you know, like, and she was just telling me what was going on with her, you know, because we were suggesting she get on this plan. She's calling in for the food card, because that's one of the things that certain Medicare Advantage plans can get you. And she was just going on. She said that they took away her Social Security, or like they halved it, and her rent or mortgage is still $900 a month. So there's literally no way she could exist. And there was nothing I could do. I connected to some resources online that might be able to give her like some support, but there was nothing I could do. I mean, it was a true situation of complete desolation. And to think that the government is now, you know, going to the next level in terms of trying to get money out of people and hitting everybody's Social Security, anybody who had debt to the government.
Learn what Black Bloc is real soon. Start finding out some how-tos from people in your area who've been organizing for a while. Hundreds of thousands of federal government employees losing their jobs. Ooh, baby, that pot is starting to boil.
So I didn't know what he was talking about, but I've learned a new term, and you're about to learn also. Science studies, the social process of black boxing is based on the abstract notion of a black box. To cite Bruno Latour, black boxing is the way scientific and technical work is made invisible by its own success. And it's very simple, but it's very true. If a product is really good, you forget how difficult it was to make that product or get that product brought into fruition. You forget how long it took and how many people had to work in order to create this thing. And your own job gets eclipsed by the thing that you've created if it's really, really good. The simplest way to put it would be if the person who invented the first car happened to be a horse salesman or a horse breeder. You know, not that he made himself irrelevant, not like he took himself out of the game. It's probably a bad example. But by doing that, he's decreased his need, the value for him in the market, and the value for the thing that he was doing. Anyway, these wages are getting wild, and I think that all those employees that he was just talking about that are getting fired is a sign of a much bigger problem. Possibly not just the garnished wages.